I like booty because booty is fine. I can squeeze yours and you can squeeze mine. Grayman material? Today we're delving into the mind of an 18-year-old laser fanatic who likes your sweater because green is his favorite color. I'll explain everything later. It's Queer Eye. Let's go!
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I like booty because booty is fine. If I can squeeze yours, you can squeeze mine. I see it wobble and I start to quake. Milk is just fine, but it's better with cake. I like booty because booty is fine. If I can squeeze yours, you can squeeze mine. I see it wobble and I start to quake. Milk is just fine, but it's better with cake. I like booty because booty is fine. If I can squeeze yours, you can squeeze mine. I see it wobble and I start to quake.
Hello, everybody. I just want to listen to this song the whole time.
This is a vibe.
It is a vibe. Can we just play this on repeat the entire episode?
I'm sure Sean would like that.
Sean would love it. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Charles Conoly. This is the Queer Eye After Show. This is Season 2, Episode 7. It's Bedazzled, y'all.
Yes.
And I'm here with my lovely co-host.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Christine here, back at it. We're going to talk about Sean and his weird quirks this week.
Sean's a weird one, y'all. And let's actually get into who this man is while this gorgeous song is playing in the background.
I know.
Ooh, listen to it. Let's savor the last moments of it.
Extra.
Yes. I'm serious. DJ Kelly needs to get on this. Okay, so Sean Van Meter, that is the subject this week.
Yeah.
He's an 18-year-old musician who lives in Georgia. He's like the Beyonce of, what's the county? Jefferson County.
Okay.
His godmother, Lulu, nominated him. God bless you, Lulu.
God bless her.
And he's scruffy. He's a Scooby-Doo version of Elton John, which I like to call him Elton John.
Elton Sean, I love that.
Why didn't nobody say that in the episode? Elton Sean.
I guarantee Jonathan probably said it and they cut it out because it was probably like too cheesy.
Yeah. Too cheesy for Jonathan?
Right? Is there even such a thing?
Listen, they need to go post-production. They need to go back, recut the episode and incorporate Elton Sean more into that episode.
Elton Sean, yes. Can you believe?
Yes, this kid is very young. He's very scruffy. He's homeschooled, so he's a little awkward. And the Fab Five ambush him in the middle of one of his performances at what looks to be like an antique shop.
Yeah.
And the people are antique too, as Dan likes to say. They kind of old, which is a microcosm of what this episode is all about. He's kind of an old soul, right?
Yeah, he is. And before we even get into that, just in the episode they mentioned that he went to high school online. Could you imagine doing that? Like your formative your formative years between high school and college, doing that virtually and not interacting with other people?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine?
And it proves that in high school, like as a teen, you learn so much more than what you see in the classroom and what you read in the books.
Yeah.
You learn those social skills, and like not knocking anybody who's homeschooled. Like I'm all for it. If that's what works for you, that's what works for you. But I think we see more often than not, like the effects of homeschool, whether that's like you are brilliantly smart because you're really focused on your studies, but also a little socially awkward.
Yeah.
This guy's a little socially awkward, and he's only 18.
He is, but I mean, he's right on the cusp of this new chapter in his life. So this was the perfect time for the Fab Five to kind of come in and get him ready for college because, honey, that's going to hit you harder than a moving train.
Yes.
All the realities that you're going to face, it's like that stage right before you really start adulting. So that's key, to be around other people your age.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
And not the old people that we found him with.
No, not the old people that we found him with. Absolutely not. The only old people he was going to be hanging out with are the Fab Five, and they're only a little bit older, but they know how to revamp and rejudge a person. So that's what they did. And before we actually get into the Fab Five, as you can probably tell, I'm not Matt Maher. I'm Charles Conoly. Matt Maher, we miss you. He's out of town. He'll be back next week for the final episode of Season 2. Can you believe we've already gotten through Season 2?
I'm so mad there's only 8 episodes. That's why it's so fast.
That's a 10 on the Cria Meter. But we're really sad that Matt's not here. And Leon, he wasn't here last week. He's not here this week. He's still turning tricks. He's busy on these
Leon,
streets.
Can you take a break real quick and come talk Queer Eye with us?
Come on. He'll be back for Season 3, though. So we are jumping into the Fab Five, right? So first we're going to talk about Karamo.
Yes.
Now, Karamo had a huge episode. I feel like this was all about Karamo.
Very Karamo heavy because the culture aspect is what Sean desperately lacked. Aside from, revamping his wardrobe and all the other things that we saw obviously needed a little help, Sean really needed to be like brought back into the present and really understand who he is and own it. And that's where Karamo came in.
Yeah. And on the way to the house where Sean grew up with Lulu, Karamo was kind of asking him questions about some of his music influences because he is a musician. And Sean was giving some answers that indicated that he was an old soul and that indicated that he needed kind of a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
He was not savvy at all.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I was like waiting on the edge of my like, what is he gonna say? Who is he actually interested in? And it was crickets.
He mentioned like somebody from 1872. He mentioned Elton John, who I think is still alive.
Stop it. He is still alive. Don't even.
Sorry, I love you, Elton.
Oh my God. But
he was very out of touch.
He was very out of touch. He didn't even mention any like TV shows that he's into or anything like that. But you know what? You guys, you AfterBuzz viewers, you guys know what's up with all the popular TV shows, and we're here to cover them for you. So, you know, our network produces after shows for all of your favorite TV shows, like Queer Eye, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder for you to serve television fans. But right now, we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels, like this one, reality TV, or dramas or sci-fi, like I mentioned before. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow, which is awesome. So thank you. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. This is 2018. There are ways to kind of make sure we find something that's working for you, so you can turn them off if you don't want them. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz TV channels as well. Let us know that you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air because we love you guys. And for now, just thanks so much for being the best fans in the world and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, y'all are the best fans in the world.
I know.
Because you put up with me. And Christine.
Antics, right?
You didn't have to put up with Christine. You want to put up with Christine. You have to put up with me.
Stop.
Oh, I will stop. Because I want to talk about Karamo. Okay. So as you heard me, and let's jump back into Karamo. So we talked about these music preferences of Sean, which sometimes it can be cool when a guy or a girl has some kind of weird, quirky music preferences.
Yeah.
But not when they define your entire style and they're kind of weird and quirky. You have to kind of come back to the middle. So Karamo, whenever they do go to the house in ambush, finds his lyric book, which was one of my favorite moments of this episode. Whenever he finds Sean's lyric book, because Sean writes all his own music, and he finds a lyric that says, "I like booty, 'cause booty is fine. If I can squeeze yours, you can squeeze mine. I see it wobble and start to quake. Milk is just fine, but it's better with cake."
I'm not gonna lie, this low-key sounded like a 2 Chainz verse to me.
did.
Like, right? Like, I was like,
Is this 2 Chainz Ghostwriter?
Sean Van Ness.
Sean is Ghostwriter.
I think just about it quaking and shaking and
The
cake,
word-
it was just like,
The word quake next to the word milk was a little too sexual for me.
yeah.
And actually, it wasn't. It was just right. I just didn't think I was going to get that on Queer Eye.
It was. I'm just so glad that made the edit because
Yeah.
I think if we ever needed a snapshot of what Sean was really like,
Oh, he's a freaky
quirkiest-
deek.
Yo,
He's a freaky deek. Sean, wave your freak flag high.
let it fly, let it fly.
We know about the freak flag in the queer community, and we're here for you. We support you, girl. So in addition to finding these crazy lyrics, Karamo he finds some business cards. He finds the proof that Sean got a scholarship,
Yeah.
and he is going to Piedmont College. And so that kind of colors this entire episode, is the fact that Sean is going off to college.
Right.
So, like, Karamo wants to get him more social, to make friends. Bobby's getting his new apartment set up. Antoni's getting him college meals, things like this. So Karamo wants to get Sean around people his own age, right? And he wants him to interact with people his own age. So the main thing that he does with Sean is he goes paintballing.
Which is a great idea, no?
The straights love paintballing.
I love paintballing.
Honestly, I love it too.
Right? Come on. It's kind of painful, but like so much fun.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush.
It is.
I was scared whenever I was little because all my cousins, like my male cousins, would go paintballing. I'd be like, oh my God, like, I don't want to go. And I would get like this really heavily padded vest to protect
You
myself.
were not playing games.
I was gay as hell, y'all. I was like, I don't want to hurt myself. And then like now I'm like, let's go paintballing. I freaking love it.
You're like, let me get the helmet on.
Let me get the helmet.
I'm going to get
That's
my
all I
ammo.
need.
We're
I
ready.
don't even, I go shirtless, completely nude paintballing.
You're crazy.
No, I'm sane. That's the problem.
What?
So he takes Sean paintballing, and this is like one of the most cringy moments of the episode, I think, because Karamo and Bobby goes as well, asks Sean to go and try to make friends at the paintball center, which when anybody tries to go and make friends, it gets a little cringy.
It does.
But when Sean goes to make friends who doesn't have many social skills, it's extra cringy.
Well, what made it cringy for me was because as a viewer, I know that those kids probably had to sign release forms to be on camera.
They knew it.
They already knew. So for me, that kind of spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
Even though Sean was awkward, I actually kind of gave him credit for,
Being willing and doing it.
Being willing, because he could have easily been like, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah,
Can you
like,
come with me?
yeah.
And,
Put up a fight.
He could have put up a fight very early on, but he was like willing to buy into what
Face it
they
head
wanted.
on.
But it was like, you could tell that they were like waiting for him to come over.
Yeah, that first guy turned way too quick. He was like, hi, hello.
Yeah.
And like turned into his, like found his light, smiled into the camera, was waiting for his moment, and he found it. And then like Sean started to say things like, I like that haircut. It's really hip. I love that sweater. Green's my favorite color.
He probably like was getting those from like How to Make Friends, like the dummy book. Like, these are good opening lines. And bless his heart,
You're right.
Sean. I love you.
Sean, we love you. And like the thing that made us cringe wasn't the fact that we saw you struggle. It was the fact that we've been through that as well.
Exactly.
And we know how uncomfortable you were, and we empathized with you. And we just wanted to like go in and help you.
And truthfully, I empathize with him even now. Like, I'm 26 years old. I'm an adult.
Yes.
He's 18. I know that's hard. But even me as an adult, making friends in LA can be hard sometimes.
It's hard. It really is. Going up and finding like things to talk about to a random person, you don't know who they are.
You don't know who they are. Often at this age, a lot of people already have their core group of
And
friends.
are very judgmental.
They're judgmental. It's kind of hard to penetrate that if you're not already part of a really big social group. So when I say I cringe, but like I really did empathize.
Yeah. So he ends up kind of getting into the hang of it. The girl who he approaches kind of helps him out, says she likes his shoes, kind of helps him. And he gets into it. And
Yeah.
the paintballing is fun and everything. And then we kind of fast forward. That's kind of the end kind of his main interaction with Karamo. And then at the end, during the big concert that he has, Karamo manages to get the Death of the Peanut Kings to go to the concert, which is the first band that Sean was in. I thought that was really cool. Kind of a cute moment.
That was a nice surprise.
That was a nice surprise. So, Karamo's whole deal, his whole gig was to get Sean more social and engaged and just get him out there, out of his comfort zone before he gets out of his ultimate comfort zone when he goes to college.
Yeah, and honestly, Tan did a really good job of that too. I know we're going to talk about him next, but just kind of, even when they were trying on clothes in the mirror, and you could tell that Sean, when he put on the new outfit that Tan picked out for him, liked it, but he was so stiff.
Yeah.
And Tan kind of really helped him get out of that, so I love that.
Yeah, let's talk about Tan for a little bit. I mean, you mentioned that the clothes that Sean had were vintage, and the main thing that Sean did was the bedazzled thing on the back.
Bedazzled.
Which, can I just be totally honest? I kind of liked it.
You like it?
I kind of enjoyed. I thought they were gonna like revamp it or make it like more cool or incorporate it into like a cooler part of his clothes, like maybe stitch Sean on the wrist of his blazers.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool because it was like Lulu's idea, and I thought that was a very loving way to like brand him as a musician. I just didn't want to see them throw it out completely, but so Tan wanted him to find his own style, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of disagree with you there, only because...
On the dazzled thing?
On the dazzled thing. Because as much as I enjoyed it too, and I thought that was such a cute part of who he was, I think with... a lot of the times with these episodes, the guys do meet the guys where they are at, and they do like pick and choose where the drastic change is going to be. I think with this episode, that was it.
Okay, they said, okay, this is something we're definitely cutting.
Like it just can't stay because... It's such a strong tie to who he used to be.
You're right.
So if you want to really sever those ties, I think that was the place to do it.
You got to dump it. Mm-hmm. I can see that. That's a good point.
But I mean, it would have been cool either way, but I think
Yeah.
it was stronger to do it that way.
Yeah, because if you do the little bedazzled, then maybe he thinks, oh, later on, oh, maybe I can grow my hair out. I mean, I bedazzled the thing.
go back to
Maybe
that
I can go back to
person.
that person. So good point.
Yeah.
So Tan wants him to find his own style. He gives him a bomber jacket as opposed to the blazer. Now, this is a very Tan type of styling job. It's like floral print,
Yeah.
blazer, white jeans, very
Floral
sharp.
bomber over here.
Floral bomber. She's doing the best of both worlds, combining them. Thank
I'm
you,
doing a
Christine.
little Tan and Karamo action today.
Oh my God, you are.
Right?
You're like merged Tan and Karamo's love child.
I love it. I'd probably look like them too. They're both brown.
I
so.
love that look. It's a gorgeous bomber sweater with the floral thing. Tan would be proud. It's Tantastic.
Fantastic.
Which I don't know why they don't incorporate that into more of the episodes. That was a branding moment.
It's a missed opportunity.
So, yeah, I mean, he amped up his clothes.
So did you like this makeover?
I thought it was good. I mean, it wasn't like he had body issues or like he had an issue with fitting this guy's body. I mean, he's a young guy, he's a slim guy, he's athletically built. So I wasn't like blown away. It was just kind of middle of the road for me.
Same. I really liked that first outfit that he put him in with the black bomber.
black racer stripe.
The black racer stripe pants. I felt like that was a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a fan of the white pants, floral button-up black leather jacket combo.
Oh, I did not like the black leather jacket with the floral.
It was just a miss for me.
Ooh,
Two completely different looks, and I just felt like it was just kind of corny, honestly. I'm not really a big fan of white pants on men in general. My
Neither am
personal
I.
preference, unless you're going to like an all-white boat party or something,
Ooh, fabulous.
right? Like where it calls for that. I just thought that was like,
Yeah, that was a little cringy. And like
was
you can
weird.
tell whenever somebody's trying too hard. And I feel like with the leather jacket, it looked like trying too hard.
it was.
But those glitter shoes, though. You remember those glitter shoes that Tam brought up?
Yeah.
Same. I was like, those are nice to look at, but like put them back on the rack.
Yeah. It's just not functional for him, but
Hey, Tan is an amazing stylist.
he is.
And those clothes, like, okay, Sean looked good. He didn't look amazing, and I feel like Sean had the opportunity to have like a really quirky type of cool style to him. He loves the vintage thing. And Tan instead kind of went back to his default.
Yeah, I would say he didn't
But-
really like think outside the box with that one. Because
Right.
if they could make our Burning Man guy, I forgot what his name was now.
Oh, I forgot his name too.
Beth and Joe, was it? No. Wow, how am I remembering his girl's name and not his name?
I don't remember his
Awful,
name.
forgive me. But they kind of took his love for Burning Man and that boho kind of
Mm-hmm.
style and gave him an elevated version of that where I felt like you said with this, it looked like something that maybe Macy's or a catalog would put out that this
Yeah.
is what we want our 18-year-olds to look like. This is the kind of clothes we're selling
Back
to
to
18-year-olds.
school.
Yeah, like he could easily jump into a Target commercial with
Yeah.
that. Whereas like identifying his personal style, and it's a little unfortunate because that's what Tan was really trying to get at with
Yeah.
him. But as a viewer, it didn't come
Like-
that way to me.
Like, what about the boots? Remember those boots that Tan said was the gayest thing he ever saw? Why didn't he go boot shopping or something?
I mean,
That could have
they're
been
still in the
cool.
South. He could use some boots.
Yeah. So maybe like Tam was going like slick and cool and young and swag, and maybe he just went a little too far.
Yeah.
But overall, like Tan's great.
Love you, Tan.
It just wasn't my favorite makeover of all time. Now let's move to Jonathan, another guy who I always love. So he's mad that Sean washes his hair every day. And he makes like the perfect analogy. He says like, imagine if I washed this T-shirt every day. It would be ragged. It would be dry. The color would be all over the place. You don't want to do that.
Right.
He makes a good point about the image-heavy industry that Sean is because it's so image-heavy, and Sean looks a little like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Did you see that side by side on Sean's Instagram?
It was iconic
It was
and legendary.
legendary.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. Like
Yes.
immediately. But to that point, I love that Jonathan kind of gave him a dose of reality in that sense that you can be your own quirky self, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, a part of this industry is the way you look. That's heavy in the music industry. And I love that he brought up John Legend, someone who's a pianist
Oh, yeah.
who can sing his ass off and who's
Yeah.
successful at it and is swagged out and dresses well and people love him.
Yes.
Perfect
Has
analogy.
His own style.
And it's such a great voice. And Sean has all those things. He just needs
Sean
to...
Legend.
Oh, Sean
Well, it's too easy. It's too easy. Elton Sean Legend. Come on now.
I will say
You're
Sean
right.
Van Meter is kind of a badass name too, though.
Sean Van Meter is an awesome name for a musician.
It's memorable for sure.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I remembered it, and I remember almost nothing. So the makeover that Jonathan gives Sean is the clean cut with he just takes the hair away from his face. He takes it from his face and then he takes it in on his head.
Right.
He really didn't have any skincare issues to deal with. He's 18. He has good skin.
He didn't even really have a lot of acne.
No, he had like amazing skin.
I was like kind of jealous.
Yeah, really. Whenever I
mean-
was 18, you should have seen my face, girl. Actually, you shouldn't have seen my face. Come on, PTSD.
That's why I deactivated my MySpace profile, so no one ever has to see
I've
what I
been
used
trying
to
to
look
log
like.
into my MySpace profile. It won't work.
I have the same problem. There's a way around it, and I'll send it to you.
Oh, please. Yeah, so Jonathan did not have to deal with any of that at all, and I wish Jonathan was there when I was 18 so that he could bless me with some kind of amazing skincare formula. But the makeover that Jonathan gave Sean, I almost called him Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, he takes in the hair, he kind of goes a little more conservative with it, and, okay, I don't want to go, like, negative with Tan to negative with Jonathan. I always love Jonathan, but at first, when I saw this makeover, I wasn't crazy about it.
You weren't.
Because Sean was coming off a little baby-faced, a little church boy.
Yeah.
And later on in the episode, though, I really liked it because I could see Sean smile. And Sean has an amazing smile.
He does. I think that was the main part. Like, it's just his facial hair wasn't grown in enough where they could have kind of made it work. It was just like... It just had to go.
It was patchy.
It was very like
which is not a good look. If you
peach fuzz hair. Like,
if you want to grow out a beard, make sure it's a beard. Like this is all really I can grow out. If I grow it out any longer, it starts getting strange and a little bit white trash. So I don't. But yeah, Sean is clean shaven. But at first, I think the reason I didn't like it is because he looks a little like a 35-year-old woman. Remember when I said a 30?
You did.
Okay, you know what I told Christine? I'm just going to say it.
just say it.
Sean, in my opinion, after his makeover, looked like a 35-year-old lesbian who worked at a record store. I said it. It's out there. Okay? This woman, she has great taste in music. She has one cat. She has three leather jackets. She tried being vegan for a week. And now she lives in Cincinnati.
Wow.
She's very detailed. And that's what Sean looked like.
You painted a picture.
I did.
I could totally see that. He was also giving me like prepubescent Justin Bieber vibes, which Jonathan also brilliantly called out as well. Those baby blues and that little nice little, structured jaw. Like he's a little cutie.
He's cute. He's cute. Those eyes he has really pretty eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
And the smile is amazing. And the voice is great. He's clearly talented, which is sexy. Like talent is sexy. And
I mean, absolutely.
If you've gone on Sean's Instagram and seen some of his piano playing videos, his Instagram is at Sean Van Meter. I think it's just at Sean Van Meter Music. So he's very talented. So he didn't need to, like, the girls were going to come running. He was a thirst trap. And Jonathan really didn't have to do a lot. Which maybe that's why at first I wasn't reacting, because I always react so intensely to Jonathan's makeovers.
Yeah.
I kind of just said like, oh, like I expected that.
Yeah, I also think it's key to, with his age, if you really want to get deep, maybe I'm getting too deep, but just to give him a chance to see himself slightly differently.
Too deep. I'm just kidding. Who
Yeah.
are you talking to here?
I know.
I'm the king of deep. Okay. Oh.
Wow.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
To what you're gonna say. What you're gonna say? Keep going deep, girl.
I was
Go
gonna
deep.
say, I think they probably. I might be contradicting myself because I just said they needed a sharp change from him in other areas. But maybe with his physical appearance, because he hasn't fully grown into it yet, what could they really change past that
Past
that
the
wouldn't
haircut.
like make him like only see himself this way or just be too much too soon?
You know what I was
He's
gonna
18.
You know what I was gonna say, recommend? I was almost gonna say like go a little edgier with the haircut. Like maybe
Like-
buzzed sides with like longer on top but like combed over. Like David Beckham, how he has like the
Yeah.
buzz sides, but he keeps the top like really manicured and groomed.
Yeah.
And I can see that for Sean because it's a nod to like the older style like 20s and 30s haircuts where it's like very hard gelled and like
Yeah.
very manicured, but it's modern on the sides.
That's a really good point.
And it was giving me a little church boy on the sides.
Yeah, like altar boy.
Yeah.
Like, sure, yeah.
So, but all in all, it was a great makeover. Another guy who had a great episode, more emotional episode, was Bobby.
Oh my God.
And the reason he had a more emotional episode was because he connected with Lulu, the godmother who nominated Sean for Queer Eye.
Yeah.
And Bobby actually sat down at the beginning of the episode with Lulu and said, I feel a really deep connection with you. I was adopted. And he just has a lot of respect for her.
It's a really emotional moment. And I love those when the guys really connect with the people that they're, making better, not making over. And those two together was just, my cry meter went all the way up, which we'll get to later. But Lulu is just, she's such a sweet woman, and you can tell how much she loves Sean. And I think it was really smart of Bobby to have her, join him while painting and creating this space that Sean will move into.
Yeah, because I think that Bobby could tell that Lulu was worried and concerned and anxious about Sean leaving. So by playing a part in creating the space where Sean was going to be living, she could say, okay, I've done my part. I have put my hand on the space where Sean will be living, and now I can step back. So really smart of Bobby. And also the space that he was working with.
Oh my God.
Clearly this is Georgia, because in LA that space would be $17,000 a month. It was an amazing freaking area.
I literally gasped when I saw it, because I'm like, so your godmother, or your pseudo mom in this case, got you, an 18-year-old, this amazing, gorgeous, huge space. Like, I had to fight with my sister for real estate in our bedroom, let alone my own space like that at 18.
When I was 18, I was rooming with a very kind but overweight young gentleman named Tony, who ate lean cuisines for dinner, but he ate like 8 of them. I didn't have an open floor plan space like this.
This was honestly Bobby or any interior designer's dream space to start with. Like, you saw when he walked in, he goes, "Ooh, I love a raw space."
You could see his hands rubbing together. He was excited about that.
The wheels were turning already.
So yeah, and of course he knocks this out of the park. Bobby always does such a great job with these renovations. I loved how light the walls were at the beginning. I like that it was darker and masculine. Personally, I think I would have done a cream.
I could see that.
A cream color. But I honestly, whenever it came together, I was like, okay, I see where you were going. I liked it.
Because everything's balanced. I think that's what Bobby does well. He balances the room so your eye just sees it and takes it all in really well. I thought that the dark brown furniture with the dark blue and black walls, I think that's where it got too dark for me.
Yeah.
It's either one or the other had to be dark, not both.
Yeah. But the space was good enough that I didn't even care at the end of the day. And when Lulu walked into the space, she flipped out. Like, she was screaming. I mean, basically orgasming. I mean, can we talk about how sexual that response was from her? Sorry to get inappropriate here, but honestly, listen, I was, very strongly moved whenever I saw that apartment too. So Lulu, I don't blame you. But her reaction was so sweet.
It's priceless. Yeah. She really made a lot of this episode, if I could be frank here.
She did.
Her reactions were like...
And she's such a good person.
Yeah.
And that she was so relieved to find that her son, and because, let's call him her son because Sean calls her his mom. Her son was going to be in a great space, a comfortable space, a nice space. I mean, that's one thing that my mom worries about a lot, is the space that I'm living in. Is it a sanctuary, a haven, and whatnot? So it's cool that she had a good reaction.
Yeah, for sure.
So Antoni, the last guy, my favorite. Hi, Antoni. Hi, buddy. Buddy? No, you're my boyfriend. So Antoni does almost nothing, but I don't care. He does because I still love him. He takes Sean to an omelet class, a cooking class, which before the episode started, Christina and I were talking, and I was like, I didn't really like what Antoni was doing. He cooks him an omelet, but you had a really good point.
I did. I did, actually. I'll toot my own horn.
Yeah, come on. Thwart the fan. One thwart for the fan.
Oh my God, I can't screw this up.
Okay, give it back.
Wait, I'm not. Hold on. I gotta get this. Hold on.
Yeah, give it back.
Almost.
Can you tell she's not a gay?
I'm not.
Okay, what's your point?
But I love my gays.
What's your point?
No, my point was that he really did like Karamo, which, focused on socializing Sean with other people. I think having that classroom setting was genius in the sense that it's a parallel. He's going to be in a classroom later with other people, although unless you're taking a class like that in college, it's usually not like that.
Yeah.
You're either in a lecture hall or kind of quiet in
Maybe
class.
like a science class where you have a lab partner.
True. I mean, I went to school for broadcast journalism, and in the video editing lab, we were all very hands-on too. So you do get some of that. And I thought that was just a genius thing to do.
Yeah.
And it also kind of pulled, our boys outside of the normal setting of just the hero's house and their immediate place where they live, and took him somewhere else. So, and I think it gave us a little bit of TV gold, to be honest, because Jonathan and Tan making a giant omelet.
The 10-egg omelet.
I died.
That was so funny.
That was good comedic relief.
And there were some good tips in there, like using the chopsticks to curdle your eggs, to swish your eggs. That was great.
I can't even use them to eat, but I will use them for that.
No, I can't. I do this kind of thing with the two, and then I throw them away and use the fork. But yeah, and Sean met a nutritional sciences major, and he was natural, and I think that's what really helps with social interaction is doing something together.
Yes.
Because whenever you're just one-on-one and you have nothing to do, it's can get a little awkward. So to be sharing an experience, if there's an awkward silence, you can always just go back to talking about what you're doing, oh, this omelet looks good, or is it done, or whatever. It was really smart.
And his partner did a great job of encouraging him along the way. Who knows if that was prompted or not, but homegirl, you did that. It was good. And can we just say, though, learning how to make eggs is a valuable skill. In college, you're going to be broke. I don't know. You got a big fancy kitchen and all that, but, I lived off of eggs, ramen, and I stayed home for college. But my parents were not about to cook for me.
No.
I had to make do. So
your parents said, you're our roommate now, okay, by your own.
I mean, they were just shy of making me pay rent.
Which
so let's talk about it.
I love it. And it was good that Antoni brought it back to basics. And he says, you got to know the rules to break them, which is my life motto. But one thing that Antoni did was shady was he didn't award Sean the winner of the omelet. He gave it to some guy named Jason. Whatever. Who knows what Jason's doing now?
Can we find out?
We can find out, yeah. And we'll find out maybe on the next episode. But now we are going to jump into our special segment. News and stuff is coming later. But our special segment this week is the Cria Meter, which is there it is. There it is. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Okay, now we're back. So for the Cria Meter, as we all know, is a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being on the ground, bawling your eyes out, emotional wreck, and 0 being dry as a bone, watching Donald Trump give a speech.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's actually vomit inducing.
Yeah. So where were you on this 0 to 10?
Okay, I was at a 3, I'm gonna be honest, for the episode, but it definitely went
up. What brought you to a 3?
Or
wait, where did it go? Sorry, finish.
No, yeah, it was at a 3, just semi-emotional, not really, but it went up to a 10 every time Lulu was in the room, honestly. That's really where, I truly only teared up seeing her reactions. Even Sean's reunion with his old bandmates at the end was nice. Yeah. It was touching, but it really didn't get me the way, everything Lulu just said, the way she was expressive about how she felt about him. Yeah. That really touched me, gave me all the feels.
Yeah. Lulu was a great person. And this episode, I'd say it was like a 1 or a 2. I was real dry.
Yeah.
And then it did go up to about a 6 because whenever I saw Bobby interacting with Lulu, whenever Lulu was you just saw, it was all about her whenever it came to the emotions, because you saw her anxiety and nerves when it came to sending this young man off. She took him in, and at the beginning of the episode, she said, I was always that woman who said I would never have kids. That all changed when I first held Sean.
Oh my God. It almost felt like it was her package. She was the hero. We were going to, make her life better. And I would so be here for that if Queer Eye ever wanted to just go back
Come on, Lulu.
Hook it up.
Yeah. She reminded me of Tammy. Remember that really amazing woman? I guess it was a few episodes ago. Early 1. episode. Episode 1? Was that her?
That was the woman.
Oh, God bless. Okay, then it was Tammy. She reminded me of episode 1, season 2. Go back and watch it. It's a really good one. So now...
I think also, though, part of what made Lulu's moments so cathartic for us too is because the same way that she was expressing how much she loved Sean, Sean probably feels the same way. He just wasn't as good about saying it. Yeah. So we got that from her.
Yeah. I mean, when you're 18, you want to be oh, Mom, nah.
Right? Not
off.
I love her.
Yeah. I love you, Mom.
I love you.
I'm 26. I don't care to say I love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Love you, my entire family.
He was I just miss the food she's going to make me.
Seriously.
Be real.
Okay, so now we are going to go into AfterBuzz News.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, We're actually going to step away from this episode for just a second.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to it, I promise. But if you remember a couple of episodes ago, Skylar, who is the trans man on Queer Eye, he is actually suing his employer because they did not provide health care for him for his transition.
No way.
So, a spokesperson from Transcend Legal, which represents Tyler, told Pink News, Skylar has health insurance through his employer, the University of Georgia, which explicitly excludes all transgender-related health care in its employee health plan. Skylar submitted a claim to his insurance for reimbursement for a surgery. The health plan denied the claim based on the exclusion, not a lack of medical necessity. That means even if they think it's important and valuable, they can't because it's not part of their plan. But for the exclusion, it would have been covered. So such an exclusion is employee discrimination. It's a sex and disability discrimination under federal law. So Skylar's going to court, y'all, because his surgery was, if you remember, double the amount he thought it was going to be due to complications.
Wait, and is this the same surgery that we saw the Fab Five watch in the beginning of his episode?
It was the top surgery.
The top surgery. Wait, also in that episode, didn't his friends help him raise money for that too?
So they raised money for it, and he actually started a GoFundMe to reimburse all of the organizations around in Georgia who raised the money to help him. And if you want to donate to that GoFundMe, it's gofundme.com/Skylar's medical debt. So Skylar's-medical-debt if you want to go there. But yeah, he's going to court. That's some juicy news there.
Yeah.
So, we do this every week, but we wanted to look at Sean Van Meter now. Is he keeping it up? Is he taking what the Fab Five gave him and running with it? So, Christine and I did some Instagram stalking.
We did.
And let's pull up one of those images from his Instagram. He is very active on there. If you want to follow him, it's Sean Van Meter Music. There he is actually on a photo shoot.
Look at Sean.
So he's working it. Now his face is a little covered, but clearly he's styling and profiling. And he's doing things in his... did I just say styling and profiling?
You did. I was going to let that go, but...
Don't let it go, girl. You got to call me out on that. Sometimes I miss it.
Oh, but you caught it.
That was cringy. And then there he is in glasses. That's when he looks like a 35-year-old lesbian who works in the record store.
Yeah, and you can notice if you zoom in real close like I am on my phone right now in studio, you can see there is some peach fuzz growing back.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this was later in the day after he's... hasn't shaved for 2 days. But, like, honey, I need you to keep that facial hair off until it's
ready.
Sure.
Now, Sean, if you're watching this, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You're a very attractive man.
Absolutely.
I love everything about your image right now. I love country music. I'm a huge fan of yours. But at the certain angle right here, I'm getting librarian or something. But I love the glasses. They're really they're chic and hip.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan, Sean. I don't want you to think that I'm roasting you for calling. If I could look like a 35-year-old lesbian who works in a record store, I would, because this face is burnt and it looks rough.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Sean Van Meter is keeping it up, and we also have a video of him. Check out how talented he is on the piano. I wonder if we can play this. Can we play it? Is it possible to play it? I don't know if the audio is going to come through. Yeah, there we go. Look at those hands. Oh my God. Okay, so that was a video. You can like close out of that if you want it to stop playing because it's just going to loop. But yeah, he's clearly a talented pianist. He's clearly keeping up his image, and he's doing it all right because he has a website. He's blowing up his music gig.
Yeah, and I love that, even moving into this new chapter of his life, he's not letting his love for music, which is his career. It's not even just a hobby. It's his whole life. He's still putting so much effort into it. And, a lot of the times when you get older, like I used to be heavy into clarinet. I thought I was going to...
A clarinet?
I was a clarinet player.
Oh my God.
And I had this weird dream at one point of playing in the New York Philharmonic and like almost actually really devoted my life to that. And then I got older and found other interests, but like... Sometimes those things you gravitate towards when you're younger, like you want to hold on to it.
I'm intrigued right now. That's a whole AfterBuzz episode in and of itself. We're going to explore Christine's clarinet career.
My hidden talents.
Oh my God. Okay, so if you want to go check out Sean's website, it's seanvanmeter.com. It's a really cool website. Props to Sean for doing that. Pianist, singer, and songwriter, entertainer, Sean Van Meter. Yeah. But my name is Charles Conoly. That wraps up this episode. Season 2, Episode 7, Bedazzled of Queer Eye. We only have one episode left. I cannot believe it. It's gone by too quick, but all good things must come to an end. But good news is there is a season 3.
Oh, thank God.
So, from AfterBuzz TV, my name is Charles Conoly. You can follow me at Charles Conoly. I am also on the Big Brother After Show on Thursday nights. And Christine.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Christine Bean, and on Instagram I just changed my name. It's Christine I Alexis, so you can find me there, and you can see me tomorrow night on the Bachelorette After Show on AfterBuzz TV's reality TV channel. So make sure you're subscribed.
Love it. Don't forget to listen to all of our podcasts on iTunes, anywhere you can find them, and watch our other shows, y'all. Thanks, guys, from AfterBuzz TV. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
That was a great.